Welcome back to the Garden with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you along. Want to know any more about those coupon codes and the companies that support us? You can find that all out at our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, underneath the Season 9 tab at the top of the page and the Money tab. Hey, it's time for a garden question and answer. Send your questions on over to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call toll-free, coast to coast at 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. First time growing beans. I've tried the Three Sisters garden method. It didn't work out very good this year. Really only got beans to be successful. How can I change what I'm doing in order to have a successful Three Sister garden next year?
Okay, well, depends on your soil. So the Three Sisters garden, if people don't know, is when you grow corn, beans, like a runner bean.
Pole bean,
there you go. And not a runner bean, yeah, pole bean. And then you grow squash or pumpkin, some sort of large leaf squash to act as ground cover. So the ground cover is the pumpkin, squash, whatever. The corn is supposed to be the pole for the pole beans, and then the beans. The myth, yeah. the myth there is, the beans put nitrogen in the soil for the corn. Right.
Not true.
Right. So
tremendous amount of energy needs to be utilized for that corn to grow correctly. A lot of fertilizer.
So I was going to say that one of the fail points is probably not enough nitrogen in the soil, and then also if your squash didn't do well, perhaps your corn was planted too close to each other. Not really sure. Maybe not enough water for the squash. Squash is a large feeder of water, but that could be part of the problem. I don't know. What else do you think?
The nutrient value in the soil. Like, is there enough? Is it worth the energy input? Because we did sweet corn many years ago, and we did it strictly for video production to show what it took, and we ended up going like 32, 28, 24 on the fertilizer. Mixed a lot of different fertilizers together to get that high level, and we did have phenomenal corn. But whenever you can go to the farmer's market and buy it for a quarter an ear or even 50 cents an ear, or a box of 24 for $8, it is not worth my effort. I cannot grow it that cheap.
Right. And that's one thing is I like the idea of the Three Sisters garden, but maybe, nix the corn and then do something where you're growing the pole beans and then you just plant the squash on the base and you put the pole beans on its own trellis. That would be
and the answer is, well, if you have all the land, all the acreage in the world, you just plant a whole field of sweet corn. Yeah. Otherwise, there's that, is it worth growing sweet corn in the backyard? Some people say yes, some people say no.
Yeah, and that's, again, as Joy had mentioned, when you can buy it so cheap, whether it be at the grocery store or the farmer's market, and I understand it's something about a sense of accomplishment, which was fun for us for one season.
Mm-hmm. Now, they do make container corn, and this is one of the comments that came in. So many people told me I had to have at least 80 stalks of corn in order to get them to germinate properly. I planted 9, 4 came up, and got 6 beautiful ears of corn grown in a container in my backyard. My first time growing corn. There are varieties of corn that is considered quote-unquote container corn that you can get ears. The tassels have pollen that falls on the hairs of the ears, which pollinate and produce the kernels of corn inside of the husk. So it can be done. Your mileage may vary. When can I harvest my Jerusalem artichokes?
So typically this is from late autumn to early winter, so like October, mid to end of October to March. So you will see that the foliage has died back, and typically you want to wait till after a few frosts, if possible. But definitely you want that foliage to die back
after a couple of frosts, before a first hard freeze.
Yes. So that's kind of your window.
And they get sweeter after that freeze. After that first frost. Now, if you want to prolong the harvest, we can take a tip from the Amish. In your Jerusalem artichoke bed, trim down all the stalks to a foot high, and then just mound literally 5-6 feet of leaves over top of your bed. It will chill the soil, but keep it from freezing. And as you want to, you can harvest those Jerusalem artichokes or carrots or parsnips or whatever your root crop is throughout the winter months, and you just rake back the leaves. The ground is not frozen. It is chilled, and you can harvest it out of your outdoor underground refrigerator. Let's see here. I will be planting a good-sized patch of garlic this fall. I believe I should be looking at planting in late October where I'm located. Any suggestions on where to find good garlic, or should I just strictly go online?
So this is kind of depending on where you live. So if you have a farmer's market that you could buy the seed garlic from, or just any organic garlic, you can grow that organic garlic. That's not a problem. You just want to make sure you are choosing nice, healthy-looking bulbs, and then you want to choose the biggest cloves from those bulbs to plant. But you want to make sure that that is an organic garlic, and if it's from your local farmer's market, it's going to be favorable to your conditions, or your local ecosystem. If you cannot find that garlic at a farmer's market, you could just do an online search like garlic.
Well, also now there's a lot of little garlic farms in the area, like where we're at. There's probably 3 or 4 that you do a Google search, like you said, and that they plant like 10 different varieties. They have a couple of hundred or maybe 1,000 bulbs, and that's it. And that's all they do all year. And it's beautiful garlic, and it's very unique varieties. And you'll be surprised how close they probably are to where you're at.
Right, and that's something that you can find, and it's worth it to take, maybe if you have to leave work early or something, to go to a Tuesday farmer market or go on your lunch or something. It would be worth the time to
Farmer markets are not just on the weekends.
No, they're not. Sometimes it can be frustrating or a point of pain for some people, but it would be like, I would do that. I would take a half day.
And most of these farmers markets, they list the vendors or the farmers online somewhere, so you can actually get a hold of the farmer and go, hey, I can't make it to the farmer's market, but here's what I'm wanting. Can I come out to the farm and buy it from you directly in that manner?
Right.
After I get off work. And
now,
most of these people are going to be like, absolutely.
If you don't have the ability, accessibility, whatever, to find a local farmer, you can certainly buy it online, but it's more favorable to buy it from somebody that's somewhat local, or as local as possible, because you know that garlic is going to be more favorable to growing in your ecosystem.